Today we hope to show you some of what Carnival Cruise Lines has to offer. So like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments if there is a cruise offering you want to know more about. Today we'll be taking you through some of the various food options you'll find on the Carnival Magic. We'll be focusing this video on things that are included in the price of your cruise, while part 2 will go over everything that costs extra. Even if you've never been on a cruise, you've probably heard about all the food you'll find on them. And if you have been on a cruise, maybe you or someone you know goes on them simply because of the food. I've learned from experience there are people like that. Well, we recently went on the Carnival Magic and wanted to share with you some of the options you'll have to eat to your heart's content. Or until your stomach aches, one or the other. Let's start with the basics, in which case I mean the dining rooms. This is where you'll have your scheduled dinner, which you'll choose as early, late, or anytime. Anytime just means that if the restaurant is open for dinner, show up and they'll attempt to get you a table. You may have to wait, whereas early and late diners do not. There are 2 dining rooms, the midship one called the Northern Lights Dining Room and the aft one called the Southern Lights Dining Room. Both are on decks 3 and 4, and if you choose early or late dining, you'll be assigned a specific table on one of them. If you have anytime dining, check in at the deck 3 entrance of whichever dining room you're assigned. It should be noted that the galley is located across most of deck 3, and it is for crew members only. So if you need to go to the deck 3 entrance of the Southern Lights Dining Room, you'll need to cross the ship on a different deck, and then once you're at the back, take the stairs or elevators to deck 3. There's a different menu every night, which you can look up in the Carnival Hub app. While physical menus are also available, ever since the pandemic they have only provided them by request. You'll otherwise need to use the app. If you need a kids menu, you'll have to request that, as for some reason they don't include it in the app. But they certainly have your drinks covered, which do of course cost extra. While I generally don't make specific recommendations, I will say that if you see the 12-hour short rib on the menu, you should absolutely try it. Just my personal opinion, as well as my wife's, but we believe it's the best thing on the main dining room's menu. And don't miss the waitstaff performing for you during dinner. They usually start 60 to 90 minutes after your dining time. And on the last night, they do a goodbye performance. In our experience, you'll see more on deck 3 than on deck 4, unless you're close to the overlook. Sticking with the dining room, let's move on to the Sea Day Brunch. As the name suggests, this is only available on sea days, so you'll not find this on port days. It is also only in the Southern Lights Dining Room on deck 3, so as mentioned before, you'll need to head to the back of the ship on a different deck and then go up or down to deck 3. The app will show the approximate wait time, and while you can go straight down to the restaurant and wait for a table, you can also register on the app, so you can wait for the table anywhere on the ship. The app will alert you when the table is ready, and you'll have 10 minutes to go claim it. With only a few exceptions, the menu has been pretty much the same on every ship and every sea day that I've seen, so what you're seeing here is likely what you'll get if you go. I'm a big fan of omelets, and I love the omelet station up on the Lido deck. However, if there's more than 2 people in line up there, and there usually is, you'll have a long wait. So I almost always order one on Sea Day Brunch. Sure, I'm still waiting, but it feels different here. And yes, you did just see banana cream pie for dessert. I personally like to order pineapple juice because it's a little different, and this is the only place on the ship I know where you can get it. Now that's different than the juices you're seeing here at the top of the menu, which are specialty juices and cost extra. Just about everything else is free. The Voyage burger is also pretty interesting, but may or may not be your thing. If you happen to be a Platinum or Diamond member of Carnival's VIFP Club, on the last Sea Day Brunch of the cruise, you get a free drink. Just in case you want to do a little day drinking. Moving out of the dining rooms, we come to that cruise staple, the Lido Buffets. Contrary to what some may think, these are not open 24/7. They are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but are closed in between each. There are essentially 6 buffet lines at most times, 4 midship and 2 aft, and while the menu changes, especially at dinner to pretty much match what's in the dining rooms, the food at each line is basically the same as any other at any given time. However, there are a few specialty places that we will mention in a bit. As you might expect, the lines get very long at certain times of day, so be sure to plan accordingly. It's usually best to get there early, as seating also tends to disappear rather quickly. And if there's just one thing you want, please remember that it's really rude to try to jump into a line, particularly a long one, just to try to get at it faster. Don't be that guy. That guy was on this ship while we were there. Before we move on to the other parts of the Lido Marketplace, I just wanted to point out the beverage stations. There will always be water and ice available. In the mornings, you can select from a variety of juices, usually apple, orange, and a very strong guava papaya concoction, while at other times you'll find lemonade and iced tea. Although on this particular trip, they ran out of lemonade a lot. Hadn't seen that before. Moving on, there's hot chocolate, which for some reason wasn't nearly as popular as the lemonade. Coffee machines, and then there's your variety of teas, sweeteners, and other extras that you may need. Important to note, in case you don't know this already, if you use any of the provided cups, the crew always advise you to use a clean one every time, rather than refilling the one you already used. Now let's move on to the special parts of the buffet, starting with the deli. The deli is located in the middle of the aft buffet and is open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. If you show up here at breakfast time, you'll find the omelet station instead. The deli does not cost extra and lets you order a variety of hot and cold sandwiches for lunch or dinner. You can see the full menu here. You can argue all you want about whether or not a hot dog is a sandwich, but apparently Carnival believes that it is. Right next to the deli is the Carvery. As the name suggests, you can get slices of meat here. We didn't spend much time at this station, but there didn't seem to be much else to it, other than some additional buffet options you may not be able to find at other counters. If we completely underestimated it and missed out on Carnival Magic's Carvery, let us know. The Mongolian Wok is open for lunch and can be found mid-ship between the first buffets you come to, going from front to back. You can choose from an assortment of meats and vegetables, and they'll cook them up for you in their woks. Certainly worth a try if you don't feel like the usual buffet fare. I don't know if they'll do any tricks like flipping some of it up into their hats, but you can ask them. At this point you may be saying, yeah, that's all well and good, but where are the desserts? Well, they're at the back of the Lido Marketplace, just across from the deli/omelet station. They change these up throughout the day, including having various fruits and gelatins at breakfast time. And on the last sea day, they usually have a chocolate buffet where everything is some type of chocolate creation. I will say that while nearly everything looks delicious, the taste was hit or miss, and not always with the ones you expect. Some looked a little iffy but were phenomenal, while others looked very tempting but were disappointing. Several others were mid-range. I can't finish the talk of desserts without mentioning Swirls, the ship's ice cream station. You can find this along both the port and starboard walkways mid-ship on deck 10 in the Lido Marketplace, and they are open from 11 a.m. to midnight. Each side has two machines, one with chocolate or vanilla ice cream and the other with chocolate or strawberry frozen yogurt. Both give you the additional option of swirling the two flavors together. And you can do any of this with a cone or in a bowl, whichever way you're feeling at that time. Next we come to Pizzeria del Capitano, the place to go if you want pizza or if everything else is closed. It is open from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. I didn't misspeak, that's 19 hours per day where you can get a pizza. It's located at the back of the ship on the port side, and they have 5 types of pizza they can make. They may be able to take special requests, just know that anything they need to make special, even if it's just a type they normally make that isn't currently ready, may take some time. The wait may not be a big deal, but I did go there once on a very hot, muggy day, and while it is shaded, it is back by the aft pool and bar outside of the air conditioning, so it was less than comfortable. In most cases, if there are more than 3 or 4 people in line, you may be waiting for a long time. I'm personally not a big fan of thin crust, and that's all they do, but I will still usually grab at least one per cruise. And in case you didn't see the menu go by earlier, here it is again. Now let's go to the other side of the Lido Marketplace, on the port side by the main pool on deck 10. Here you'll find the Blue Iguana Cantina, not to be confused with the Blue Iguana Bar, which is just across the way toward the front of the ship. At this Blue Iguana, you'll be able to order tacos, burritos, and bowls for both breakfast and lunch. And while you will of course want to visit the salsa bar to add your favorite salsas, sauces, and additional toppings, do not miss the watermelon. As good as the food is here, the watermelon may just be the best part. Here's the full menu showing you all of the options you have. To me, there's plenty here for just about whatever you want. Please note that while this is the lunch menu, the breakfast menu adds eggs, sausage, and ham to the mix. Just across from the Blue Iguana on the starboard side, you'll find the infamous Guy's Burger Joint. They serve 5 kinds of burgers, including one with an onion ring and another with a patty made of bacon. They also serve some really good fries, and you can top off your burger over at the Fixin's bar, which we unfortunately forgot to capture here. This is a very popular place, so don't be surprised if the line goes well across the deck. But also don't forget that there are 2 lines, one on either side of the counter, so one line may actually be shorter than the other. In any case, they usually go faster than you expect, even if you do still have to wait a while. If you want to take a look at your options, here's the full menu. And if you can't decide, just have a different one every day. You wouldn't be the first. Speaking of Guy's, you can also check out Guy's Pig and Anchor Smokehouse, located outside of Deck 5 midship on the starboard side. It is open on sea days, and like everything else on this list, it does not cost extra. There are other ships where it does, so that may lead to some confusion. The line can sometimes be long, and there is very little shade while you're waiting, so prepare accordingly. At least there is a water station. As you can see, everything is laid out buffet style, which by now you should be used to. While I like having this restaurant as an option, as you won't find anything like this anywhere else on the ship, I was with a group who all tried different things and none of us were particularly impressed. Hopefully you'll have better luck with it. To give you an idea of what you'll find, here's the menu. Any menu with the word "but" on it is bound to make someone giggle. And that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed our tour of the places you can eat on the Carnival Magic that won't put an additional dent in your wallet. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will explore the places that do cost extra, including one that is sometimes free if you catch it at the right time. Until then, happy cruising!
Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified of new uploads. And while you're here, check out some of our other videos.